How you going there, guys? Today we've got a 2018 Vhedia Amarok, so we're going to put in our Vhedia head unit. Now, this install is pretty straightforward, and all your factory options are still going to work on this. So this is probably what you sort of look like if you have this car. We've got steering wheel controls. It does have wide CarPlay, and we can't keep this existing port working, unfortunately. It's got some crazy sort of stuff happening behind here that allows CarPlay to work. But we should have a USB rocker switch we can put in here, and everything will still work as it is. So if you turn this car on, you can see we've got reverse camera and like beepers. The trajectory lines don't work on the factory unit, but I think they might work when you put our unit in. Park pilot will still work, and apart from that, there's not too much sort of going on in these units. So we're going to start the install now. So they're fairly straightforward install, so we'll take you through it. So here's what we get in the kit for the Vhedia Amarok. Our manual here. There is an install manual in here, and so like a user interface manual. A little extra instruction here for a dual Fakra cable that we included in extra. So sometimes we work these things out so a bit later on, and then we add them. Trim removal tools. So then we've got the actual unit there. Fairly straightforward. It fits the Vhedia size perfectly, so that's why it is that size like that. What you basically have is you have our main 20-pin plug. I call these our auxiliary plugs, GPS, 4G, and FM AM antenna. We've got the harness, so plug and play harness kit with the CAN bus on there. Got a hydration assistant. A USB drive to do updates if you even need to do firmware updates, because we do keep our units updated and change things. Like a OBD2 scan tool, which is quite cool in the V-dubs, is you can install the app VAG DPF, and it gives you heaps of DPF information because this connects to the engine ECU. This is our rocker panel switch, which should fit. Some cars, it seems that if the top spot's taken, it actually won't fit, but we'll cover that. A 4G antenna, that's just if you want to use the SIM card on the other unit. GPS antenna, the unit has its own GPS, so it works just like sat nav. This won't be needed. It's actually just like a filter, so don't worry about this. It's in there just in case we have actual issues, but 99% of the time you won't need it. SIM card tray. All these auxiliary plugs that have plugs like this plug into our auxiliary ports here. This is our camera input, so we can get two cameras going on. So obviously we get the factory reverse camera, and if you had a caravan camera or secondary camera, you can get that in there as well. Our single third USB, our dual USB, and external microphone. The USBs are handy if you are going to plug in things like our TPMS sensor or our dash cam system or something like that, a battery shunt. Here's our dual Fakra that we've included in the kit. USB retention cable, which doesn't seem to work. I will test again on this car because every year seems to be a bit different, but I think we'll be a bit stuck there. These two cables do not look to worry about. This is auxiliary in, no one really uses this one. And this is pre-out. If you're running an amp, an aftermarket amp, you would be using this. Otherwise, you're going to just be using our Bluetooth antenna plug like this. And that is everything that comes in the kit. So you can see it's fairly comprehensive. It comes with everything you need for the install. Right, so you're going to grab the trim tool that comes in the kit, put it under here. Just go along here slowly. There is about 3 or 4 clips, and you'll feel them all pop off. The plastic on here is all pretty good, so nothing to worry about. Just come around the whole thing, and that'll come off just like that. That is very, very easy to get off. Then all you've got to do is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Torx screws to come out, and then we can pull the whole unit out and unplug it. Torx screws, T20 is the size you're after, and you just got 4 of these to pop off. Keep them in the cup holder here because you will need them in a second. If you did have a CD in here, not sure if there is or not, but now is the time to eject it. No CD, yeah, cool. Now, pull on it, it'll come out, and what we actually have here, you can put the bit of actual foam that comes in the bit underneath here, but you've got this big cam lock one, and I'll show you this again once I get it out, because it's sort of hard to see, but clip the like cam lock, and then it comes unplugs. And the other ones are both just have small little clips underneath that you just have to pop off. And then once they're popped off, it just comes out. And the final one is just the push one. So you got to push down and then give it a few wiggles, and that will come out too. Or not. Sometimes they can be a bit hard. There we go. Those are our 3 plugs here. And I'll just go through and I'll show you each one. So the yellow one, push down on that tab and pull it out. If it's getting a bit stuck, just like make sure you push down like really hard. And you can actually push it like back in, then push it down and then pull it out, because sometimes it gets caught halfway. This little one here has this tab here that actually slides back. So you slide that tab back. And this big cam lock one, see when it's closed, it's got a little tab you've got to push down in here, and then it pulls out, and then it just like opens itself up by like opening it. So that's how all of those come out. So the first thing we do here is we are going to grab this harness here is the one we want to see, and we're also going to grab this camera harness here. Now we always test things before we get too far into it. So we get the purple cam in, this purple wire one, and you plug it into the RCA on here. So you end up with something that looks like that. Then we grab this big plug. Now when you got to do this, you got to make sure this little cam lock is a bit open, and obviously have it around the right way, and then it should push in, and then as you push it in, you lever it down and it'll click in. That is that. And to be honest, that is all we actually really need to do. I've put this sort of foam down here from the box just so it allows me to easily grab this 20-pin plug, plug it in the back of the head unit here, grab this grey 6-pin one, and it goes in this bottom corner here. Now all I want to do is plug it in and see if something happens, because we always want to check at each stage, because sometimes things happen, but I'm pretty sure this one will be absolutely fine. We've done plenty of these. So we got power. It's going to give me like sort of actual fuzzy reception because I didn't plug in the antenna yet, but that's fine. We'll cover that in a second. That's fine. CAN bus is loading up. I'll click on this actual radio here. I can hear sound. I'm going to click the steering wheel controls now, and I can see they're like working. So steering wheel controls, sound, power, throw it into reverse as well. And you can see our reverses are like working, and you can actually get the trajectory lines are like working on here, which is interesting. And that something the actual unit actually doesn't have. So you got your camera, reverse, and that all working. So that's all we wanted to test. And so now we'll basically go through and put in all the cables, the auxiliary cables. All right, the first thing we're going to do now is we're actually going to pop in the sort of rocker panel quick charger. So all you have to do that is like sort of pop out the old one. So if you just push a trim tool in here, it'll lift out. I've already like popped that one out, sorry. That'll like sort of actually lift out. And this bottom bit just comes unclipped. So if you get your trim tool in here and like pop up here, and I'll sort of actually pop up on like sort of this side, it'll easily come up. And then that actually gives you enough of room if you come forward here to get to this cigarette lighter's plug, which you can just unplug, and you can see that's a 3-pin plug there. And if you look at what you have here, you've got the exact same thing. So the whole point of this is to piggyback on and plug it in. So what we will do is unwrap this a bit so we can easily get it through. Unwrap this. These won't fit through, so just pull this off, push down, pull off, like so. Run this up through here. Plug this back in, like so. And then we can come here and grab that plug you just unplugged. And I will try and get that so you can see this plug here. Grab your piggyback. There's a fuse in line in here, so everything will be good and well. Plug this in. So excuse my grunting, I'm just trying to make it so you can sort of see. So we're plugging in this piggyback to the other one we took out, so that's plugged in. Then this here plugs back into your cigarette lighter. Once you've got that, this will click back down. Just for when you're plugging the piggyback back in here, the curved end was like facing towards us. You can see in the plug there's a curved end. This will clip in. Again, a rounded end out towards the outside, so we'll push that down and in. like so. And there is your quick charge port all in there. PD quick charge port, pretty straightforward. The only thing we'll do is put a bit of tape around this so we don't have each cable sort of lying around, and we'll be good. So once that's all put in, you can just sit that back down. Should go in fairly easy. And that is that. So that is a quick charge port now. Make sure you get a few pushed all the way around. It'll actually click back down. We put that in because the original car had a wired CarPlay. Our unit's got a wireless CarPlay, so you don't need it any more, but it is handy to have a PD port to charge your phone off. So that's that done, and now we're going to put in some of the other auxiliary cables. I've just put all the cables, I call these all the auxiliary ones up there. We'll go through them, do them one by one. This one's the GPS. Now, all you want is a clear view of the sky with no sort of metal above it. So here you can see this is straight plastic, so you can just stick it straight upside down under here if you want. If you ever put like an iPad or I don't know, something on the top of there, it actually wouldn't be ideal. So if you do something like that, you'd probably actually want to put it somewhere a little like different. But most people have that area up there free. Peel that off like so. Again, it's all fine to be upside down. There, with a few good pushes. That's your GPS. So Wi-Fi. This is only if you're going to use the SIM card in the unit to give it like data. A lot of people don't. Some people do. It's best just to put it in because then it's in. Again, peel off the stick pad. This is going to get reception just fine here. It's a bit like when your phone's on the car floor, it still gets reception. So we're just going to stick that at the back here on this piece of plastic. There's a flat bit of plastic at the back here. Again, give it a good push down for 20 or so seconds. And that is your 4G antenna. So 4G antenna GPS hanging out there. Now we've got our few USBs here. So we've got our dual one that has the actual microphone port, and we've got our single one. Now these, if you're using our dash cam or TPMS, what else do we have for it? If you want to put an Ethernet adapter in, we've got a few add-ons now. You will need these. So normally what we suggest is trying to get them over here to the glove box of this car. So we will do that, and that just means you can get to them if you ever do need to use them. This customer doesn't need them for anything, so we're just going to put them in the glove box for now. So we've actually pulled down the glove box. Now the glove box has two rubber stoppers on either side. If you can press it in, you'll see them in here. It'll actually pull out and down, and then the whole box will come out. And it just has clips down to your bottom. Now, up under here, you will feel it's about here, and it goes straight across. And you see I've put the cable puller in here, which I get one of these in the kit. A gap which we're going to use to pull through our cables. Now, the gap should be big enough to do all of them. I will try. If it's not, just do one at a time. Actually, I'll do one at a time. So I always get caught out when I try and do too many. So here's a cable puller, and you can pull these through. So just like that, and pulling through here. You can help sort of feed it through the little hole here, and that's that pulled through. One, then we'll do this one, number two. Number two, we will pull through, hopefully. Just help it from one end and the other end as well. And then get your hand a little bit back here, and you can just feed it through. The hole's not huge, so definitely probably I wouldn't have got two through at the same time. So you got a 1, 2 pulled through. Now, while I'm here, I will pull the SIM card through as well. This customer, again, probably won't use a SIM card. But at least if it's in the glove box and you do want to use it in the future, it is there. The SIM card just gives the unit its own internet. Some people use that for different things, and that is cool about why our units run Android, because it opens them up to do lots more stuff than your standard main brands of head units. So again, pull that through, and that comes through like that. So that's all the 3 things that are going to be in the glove box. They're all pulled through. And you will notice on like this one here, had our external mic. I didn't actually mention that in the kit, but it comes with one. Now we always just run the external mic because on our new head units, you can turn that on and off if you want to run the internal or external. So I'll actually go through now and I'll cover how you run this. So we basically want to get the sort of mic in up here. It's the best spot to have it. You could take it all the way to the center here also if you wanted to, above the rear view mirror. You've got enough cable here to go a fairly long way. But what you do is you put it where you think you're going to have it, around about there. Now you can actually pop the whole trim off, or what you can also do is pull our door seal off and feed it through. So tuck it into here, tuck it around, make sure you give yourself enough to get to wherever you want to get to. The trim tools here are very handy to help feed the cable in. And then you sort of pull it back to a spot you're happy with, like that, so it all looks fairly hidden and just tucked up in the corner up here. And then you're going to run that cable all the way down, 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 down. Then I'll just bring the camera over here and I'll show you. So we're going to get to here, trim tool into here. Run it up. Oh, sorry. And you can pull that thing a bit further down. I'll run the cable down through here and out into here. And then we're going to use our cable puller and push it through to get it out on the other side here. So you can see we've taken the cable down here and we've tucked it behind here, and it's so come up here, and then we put the cable puller all the way through, and it's out behind the head unit there. Flip this back on, and then what we can do is just pull that cable through now, and we'll get that out behind the head unit. So if we pull that through, and bang, just like that, and that is going to plug into this one right here. Give it a good push in, click, done, microphone installed. Now we have our antenna cable. There's a little bit of manual actual work you have to do here. So this here is going to plug into this, like so, and you're going to clip that clip shut. Now it's got this blue wire on it. This blue wire needs to go our blue, a wire called AMP. In the future kit, we'll try and have them hooked up, but for now, you need to hook 2 wires together. So, because this puts 12 volt down to the antenna amp. So in the future kit, we'll try and get that already pre-wired in, because I think we've worked out now all these are the same. But for now, we have to connect these 2 wires. So that is hooked up. And the only other thing we've got here is a little Bluetooth wire. Definitely do not forget that. You can plug it in now so you don't forget it, and it's all in. That is pretty much everything done. What I would do now is I'd plug it in, check everything powers up okay, and then I'll go through and I'll just tape a bit of this stuff to tidy it up, because basically you want the cables to go in and drop down as the head unit pushes in. Just done a bit of tape on things. I normally tape the RCA up, tape up like this a bit. I tape the GPS and the 4G and the FM AM antenna together, and I tape all these auxiliary plugs together, just so when I go and put everything in, I don't get confused. You don't have to get too carried away on the taping. You can get carried away as you want, as long as you don't make anything too tight. If you start from the far side and put in your 20-pin plug, and then you'll work your way to all your auxiliary plugs, sort of why I like taping them all together. So it's fairly easy to actually miss one, and then you wonder why something doesn't work. And you put all these in. Like that, you end up with all those in like that. That's in, and then we work our way to this side. We've got our GPS, 4G, FM AM, and then if you slowly tuck these back and push them into spot, you'll see how it looks when it's slid in like that. And what you do now is always come and check out that something's happening. Do all your testing, because this one's not too hard, but you want to have it all in and done so it's all like working when you do it. Peel this off. So the unit will normally quick boot, it's just because it's had no power. So what I would start with is I would check AM, check FM, check your steering wheel controls, happy days, skip works. That is all fine. Then we can go, what else do we need to check out? Steering wheel controls work. I can see we've got power on that, so like a PD port we put in, because it's got a little blue light showing up on it. That's also going to quick charge your phone, which is handy because it's a PD port, so quick power. Then obviously throttle and reverse, and we'll check it out. That's all good. You can actually, if you don't want those extra lines on there, you can turn them off by coming into settings, car infotainment, video. You've got these reversing assistant line, so you can actually turn that off. So when you come into reverse, you don't see that. So that's fine. The only other thing to check, and I think it could be wrong, it always seems to be wrong sometimes, yeah, is these doors are around the wrong way. Settings, car infotainment, about device, settings up there again, 8878. It is a CAN thing. Come into the CAN, swap front door. You can swap them, or you can actually choose to hide them if you don't want to see them. That's up to you. So I'm going to put that to swap, click save. The unit's going to reboot, and that's going to be fixed when it powers back up. Now the only other thing I suggest to do is, you've actually got the AC coming up on here too, which I'll show you that as well. Car infotainment, video, air conditioner. Turn that off, because you probably don't want that like coming up. It looks cool, but it ends up being like more of a pain than it's worth. Now, the other thing you will want to check out is connect your phone up. So search for your phone. You'll have to, whatever your phone is, you'll probably have to turn your Bluetooth on and back off. And then it'll come up in here. And you want to do a test call. I always say just do a test call that makes sure it all sounds okay. Oh, there it is down there. I should have to scroll down. So many Bluetooth devices on here. On your phone, if it's an iPhone, you'll see something saying allow pair, allow contacts, and then you're going to get this CarPlay bit. Make sure you see this come up and you hit it. Use CarPlay, connect. Now I'm just doing that because what I basically want to do is I want to just make this like a phone call. Hey Siri, call Geordie work.
Calling Geordie work.
Now I'm just going to do a test call here and check that it all sounding fine. So we did the test call and it all sounded good. That's always what we like to hear. If it doesn't sound good, just get in touch with us and we can help you out. It's 98% of the time it's good. It's just sometimes on cars they've got different stuff being added to them, and like sometimes it's affected the voltage and you get a bit of DC interference happening. And if that is the case, we just have to add a little bit. But basically, we put our 4 screws back in, and then this trim's going to go around the outside. And that is the install all done. It's a fairly straightforward install. If you watch this like video and you think you can do it, I would say you definitely can. It is not too hard at all. And you get a great upgrade to the car once it's in. And you'll see that it all looks nice and factory once it's actually all pushed in. And obviously the unit has CarPlay, Android Auto wireless, and then it runs Android as an operating system, so you can install HEMA maps or other map apps as you want to. So this comes around. Now just make sure, don't get too aggressive with it. It will all clip in. Just get it all lined up, and you can just work your way across and clip it in like so, coming around the whole lot, and that is all in. Basically looking pretty factory and a great upgrade. The last little bit was just to put the glove box back on. So you just put it in the clips down to your bottom, and then you start to lift it up. I'll make sure you have this little flap here, a push at the back, and then the whole thing will just clip back in. And you can see we've taped up our 2 USBs and SIM card here, and they will just sit in our glove box out of the way, and that all still closes flush like so. All looking pretty good here. And the external microphone you can see up there. So that's the install all done. Good job, and any questions, just reach out to us.